So this can be measured in any place, whether it is Navarre or Andalusia, and it can be extrapolated to any place. So we have to try and start covering risks in certain actions. Now we're working with inspection entities, and there have been 80 million inspections, and this is something that we have to try and start working. So congratulations. No, congratulations to you, Juanma, because we have to say that anti-slipperiness is not something that we have studied much. It's not something that we have studied, but I think that when you start working at a certain topic, you start contacting people who know, you start talking to experts, and in the end you can do things and you can take them to a better position. So there, thank you very much. Okay, great. So this is where we left it at, Juan Manuel and myself. And we're now going to do our own intervention. Please correct me if I'm wrong, because okay.
Después se nos une Rubén.
Okay, then we will have someone else with us. So mainly during this short intervention that we're about to begin, this is the fruit of reflection of something that we have been seeing that Teresa has told us. Well, first of all, we want to thank the region of Navarra, Teresa and her whole team. It is not normal to have someone at the administration
se quiera uno complicar la existencia.
Wanting to really be engaged with something that could be so complicated and complicate your life. So I am in all sectors really, but when you're in the private sector, we usually make things more difficult in our lives due to different circumstances. But the administration doesn't try and complicate its life, and actually they don't thank you when you make things complicated. Well, we're here to thank you. That's the first thing we want to do. Secondly, during this moment of giving thanks, when we got to know the way in which Navarra was facing the situation, well, it was actually thanks to Juanma. We found out that Juanma was having a very important role, giving advice and collaborating with the region of Navarra. And that was the starting point. That's when we started considering something that is key to us. For all of us, those of us who are more technical-minded or more pragmatic-minded, that which we don't measure, we cannot control.
Y aquí hay una cuestión clave a la hora de medir y controlar. Claro, cuando medimos y controlamos,
so when we measure and we control, we show those things that we are not proud of, or reality. We know that data is consolidated by the central administration, and in the ministry we all have to declare what accidents we have suffered. But if you talk about your accidents, you always have the greatest result in statistics. Well, that's the first step. I think that the administration should
acompañar al administrado.
Should work together with the citizens, and in that way, we all have analyzed small things, because the things are solved maybe not at the speed we would like them to be, but with much effort. When we see that, for instance, a new Spanish standard has been published based on the pendulum, and that standard was referenced within the technical code for construction. So we are going to achieve a greater stability and safety from the legal standpoint for consumers, manufacturers, users, the administration. Quite possibly it is not the best nor the worst method, but it was the most pragmatic and practical method of all, because it allows us to measure in lab, on site, to measure anywhere at reasonable costs, with reasonably known patterns, known by all, and that is what we, once we published the Spanish standard, together with the Eduardo Torroja Institute by Juan and Elena Frias, and then with the support of the ministry, and I have to thank the ministry for the fact that they have given their support to this work that we have carried out for so many years. So I would like to thank the administration and the Ministry of Public Works, because otherwise our technical and standardizing efforts would have been useless. So it's not about It's not about changing the world with great gestures, but rather changing the world with small actions, with our neighbors, and with that which is close to us. And that is how we change things. Everything that I am telling you, I know you already know. But we have to remind ourselves of this on a daily basis to each other. Nowadays, the region of Navarra is applying this regulation in swimming pools. We should manage for other regions that will start waking up, such as Andalusia, when they start applying the same criteria in Catalonia and Madrid and so on. We are already thinking about what Juanma just said. We're thinking about hotels, those public access premises that also have to have responsibilities, because there are lots of places that have public access. But let's go step by step. This is not about a revolution. Let's just start changing things in a compatible way, something that is compatible with the world of consumers, users, administration, citizens. So I don't want to take more of your time. Juanma? I'm using morphine, so I'm falling asleep, I'm afraid. I think that Miguel said it wonderfully. He said everything that I could have said. Miguel is the president of AENOR's committee, and he's Mr. Entropy. He's always got the right words. So I completely share everything that Miguel has said. I absolutely share everything he said, and I ask for a round of applause for the Department of Health and Safety for the work that they have carried out. And I will now give the floor to Rubén Navarro. Yes. Yes. We now need an IT tool, an IT solution that could allow for this to happen. Because if we have 5,000 centers in Navarra, 5,000 in Madrid and in Andalusia, it should be some sort of IT tool that would help our civil servants work. And this is an IT tool that we have created that should be controlled by CSIC and the Ministry of Public Works once it's done. It needs to be a solution, an IT solution that abides by all regulations, so that civil servants can say, well, they're asking me to use this. It's just about clicking one or two buttons, and that way I can see if this fulfills all the requirements or not, and that would not be an extra load of work for civil servants, so that should be perfect.